Welcome to another episode. Today, we will be talking about emptiness and boredom and how to handle it. I know it's been really tough this past few years, coupled with the COVID-19 pandemic, and now we're going through a recession. It's really tough on everyone mentally. I want to use this medium to say, I acknowledge the fact that a lot of people are going through a lot out there. If you are going through something, or you know someone or a friend or a family who's having issues, I would strongly advise that they should seek help because we should actually advocate and um stand for people who are going through health issues and not look down on them. We should support them. So if you find yourself in a situation where you know someone or you are going through something, um there are loads of medium or loads of resources out there. Speak out, please. You need to talk about these things because it's important. Diving into the conversation, like we said, I would define emptiness as a compilation of a lot of feelings, which ranges from sadness, loneliness, hopelessness, anguish, depression, anxiety, or negative self talk. And I would define boredom as although people confuse emptiness for boredom, but I will define boredom as a feeling of being empty, which is associated with frustration that leads to one not being interested in the things they usually find pleasure or they usually do, or not being interested in their environment. Um, these can be triggered by a lot of things. For instance, isolation, depression, like I said previously, or just not mentally stimulated, or one just being mentally exhausted. So it varies. It varies. I can't just pinpoint okay why one will be bored, because someone might just be tired and they're bored about doing whatever they're doing. For instance, when I play video games sometimes, maybe I've gone into like playing FIFA for like 2 3 hours. I get bored. That doesn't mean I don't like FIFA. Doesn't mean I won't play FIFA. So that's the number. What I want to dive into today is more of the boredom that is associated with emptiness. So I currently live in Australia. I'm from Nigeria originally, and I moving thousands of kilometers away from my family, my parents, my siblings are in Canada, and it's really tough on me. I started to feel that void in me, that my support system, which is my family, especially my mom and my dad, they're not around me. I can access them. I couldn't just drive up to their house and say, "Hey, mom, dad, this is this and that is that," or call my siblings to say, let's hang out or do something. Um, Living here alone kind of pushed me towards a place I really didn't like. Towards the ending of last year, I noticed that a lot of things were not going as planned. I wasn't interested in most of the things I find pleasure in. My friends, they noticed, they started like reaching out to say, "Hey, TJ, what's going on?" But I couldn't pinpoint it. I couldn't say this is the problem, or this is why I'm going through this, or I feel like I want to be around family. I feel isolated, or that fact that I'm far from family is affecting me. I couldn't just pinpoint it, but until I started looking deep into it and asking a lot of questions, self questions, and self reflection, and I actually talked to professionals, and that's when I knew that these has affected me in a very very negative way. So I would import that most people out there going through problems that they can't really pinpoint, or finding yourself doing things that you usually don't do, or you don't want to be involved in activities, you really need to take a step back and have some reflection. What helped me to navigate, or what helped me to um, go through this phase was I would list it as five or six stuffs that I did. I know that the first thing that helped was I started meditating more. Um, There is this app I had on my phone called the Balance app. It helped a lot. I started meditating daily, and I became conscious with my mind and how to handle my feelings. That kind of made me one with my mind, because one thing I knew was that during the time I was going through that emptiness, um I couldn't process my feelings. I got frustrated at at the slightest of things. Even the podcast, I had to like take a break from the podcast. I had to tell my colleague that I can't do this because I'm not in the mental space to actually sit down to talk or create things. um with me meditating daily, I found myself being um one with my mind. I could go through emotions. I could go through the feelings that were negative, or I would say bad feelings, and still stand tall, because I could tell myself I could breathe better. I could help my mind think better. And I would say meditation is a starter for anyone who's going through these feelings of feeling like you're not worried, or you feel like you're out of place. Another thing I did was journaling. Journaling was good for me because when I meditate, I become one in my mind, and I know the feeling that I was going through, how I negatively talked down on myself because I felt like I couldn't do good, I couldn't be better. Family is not here, you're just wasting your time. These things you're doing, probably it won't work because you're gonna be going back home and stuff like that. There were a lot of negative talks that were going through my mind, but I started journaling and I started writing. And when I started having a feeling, or let's call it a bad feeling, for us to understand, when I start having those bad feelings, I start writing them down to know that this is what I'm going through, and I could relate with it better, because when I see it, it's like I'm having a conversation with someone, like my journal, and that helped me to understand the feeling. Because we as humans, sometimes we pretend, we make excuses for ourselves, like, nah, I don't think I'm depressed. Nah, I don't think I'm going through this. Nah, I don't think this is it. No, you're actually going through it. You need to write it down, or you need to talk to someone. So in a position where you don't have someone to talk to, acknowledging your feelings, it's key. Writing it down, knowing that this thing, I'm going through this phase, I'm going through this feeling, and you can talk to yourself better when you know what you're battling with. But when you start making that excuses in your mind, like, nah, I can't be depressed, or I can't be sad because of this, or no, no, that wouldn't help in any way. That really won't help in any way. So journaling was good for me. Um, Another thing was therapeutic activities. I started going out more. I started knowing my environment. I started taking pictures because I love photography. I started exploring. I started hiking. I resumed the gym, even though I added some pounds. Yeah, I resumed going to the gym. Um Going out with friends, going to a new restaurant, finding new places around me. And that was therapeutic for me. So I don't know about you, what you would like to say, like, what's therapeutic for you? Maybe taking a walk, or going to the spa, or going shopping, or playing a video game, as the case may be. That's the therapeutic for me, because then I had to like register for online gaming. I played with different people online, and soccer is something I love, and I started playing games more, and that helped me. So you might have what is therapeutic for you. Maybe it's just running, maybe it's just basically looking at cars passing, or as the case may be. But I feel you should find something therapeutic that would stimulate your mind, that would make you feel fresh again. If you keep doing things that are therapeutic, I think it can take you from that place of emptiness, which wouldn't lead to you being bored in everything you do. Another aspect that helped me navigate through this whole stuff was goal setting. So I started setting goals for myself. Like, I'm gonna achieve this in 5 weeks. I'm gonna achieve this in 1 week. I'm gonna take the certificate exam. I'm gonna write some sit for it, or I'm gonna learn how to cook this. I can remember I started making meat pies. Like, was something I didn't like to do. I love cooking, but I didn't like eating a dough, but I forced myself to learn how to make it. I did it, but although like it's not something I want to go into for long, but I started making pies and baking, cooking, setting goals in different way, maybe in your academics or in your work. I'm gonna finish stuff by this. I'm gonna go to the gym, and you tick off your goal for the day, and that helped me a lot because I started working out. I started doing things that I needed to do. I started doing the things that I used to procrastinate that I would do during that phase, and I saw a smooth change in how I felt because that sense of gratification helped me mentally. It made me see that the sadness was just in my head, but other things in life matters. Other things around me could actually bring joy to my life, and that helped in various ways. I think I've said a little bit of 4 or 5, but I think those are the key major things I did that helped with my uh, phase of being empty and helped to take me away from that phase of being bored because boredom really ate deep into my skin. I wasn't really myself anymore. Um, Another advice for people out there is that when you try all this and you can't do it on your own, you can seek professional advice. When I mean professional advice, you can talk to a therapist. I've been through therapy also, and I would say it's helpful. It's totally helpful. Most of these things I'm talking about today is because I went through therapy. There was a phase that back junkie days where I was depressed and I had to seek professional help, and that helped me to learn these things. Um, um, Emptiness, depression, boredom is something we cannot fight. It's natural. It comes. It's something that you would go through. Everyone feels bored at some point in time, but understanding how to handle them would really go a long way. And that's why I feel like I want to advocate today to tell people that pay attention to the little things, pay attention to the things that you think that they are not as important, but they can affect your mental health in the long run. Um, be aware of your triggers, be aware of things that can affect you, things that can make you anxious. Most people, like I previously, would try to push it to the side. No, this stage or this era we find ourselves, we have a lot of resources, we have a lot of professionals who are researching and working on how to actually help and elevate our mental health. Let's make use of that. And with much said, there's nothing too much for you to start. You just start from somewhere. You by talking to someone or talking to a friend that can help put you on the right track. I know there's a lot to talk about. I know there will be a lot of aspects of or conversations that can come out from emptiness and boredom. But I just felt like I should share a little part of my own experience, just an hint of my own experience that can help you understand that you got this. You can do this. I know I know some people might be going through loss, a loss of a long loved one. That's difficult. I've been through it, but I'm still gonna tell you, even when you find yourself in the worst situation or the worst condition, you got this. You can do it. Just put your mind right, which is the first step. Making a decision to know you want to seek help, acknowledging the fact that you're going through this emotion or you're going through this, then you can start working on yourself and you would achieve great results. For me, this is all. I hope you continue with the episode because this is like in series. We're going to be talking about various aspects of life or challenges. Stay tuned and like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.